Okay, level 4, 9-9 Family Head. Let's go. Renoa, Ray, Mia. The Ray and Mia builds are going to be the same as my previous Renoa video, I believe, against the first boss, Kentris. It might be also in the Yuki video, those builds were a little bit different, so want to check that out, I recommend you do, but the Renoa build here will be different. So right now, I do think we keep the futility, of course, and probably the Adagio also is a pretty good keep. It replaces itself, and I can basically semi, target a card I really want. This most intense evolver, you might notice. I'll talk about this when we get it with the inspiration effect, but we can give it a Dark Blade and this card right here to draw 2 more cards. Okay, so let us actually start by using. Actually, let's Adagio first, and we're gonna Adagio away the G chord for... Okay, we do get the Eternal Hunger, which is really good. This gets me the card. Let us Curiosity and get another card. Let us pick up... I think the Snack Time right here is pretty good. So we can actually Snack Time to get rid of the other Amp Therapy in my deck, which is here. There we go. So we draw a card, and we do get the Muscle Enhanced. Okay, I guess this is a good time to talk about this now. So, Muscle Enhanced Evolver is a neutral card which does 2 hits of damage with inspiration to do 2 more hits. So, 4 hits in total. Really good with anybody who buffs card damage like Ray. Inspiration on this card is increase action count by 2 and rollable to the target by 2, which honestly is not the greatest in this setup, but it's just kind of there. I had room for it in my deck, so I put it in. But first, let's actually get some upgrades going on. Let's do that here. Now, let's some of those buffs right here. So see here, plus 100% damage, and this one is 94. So we can use it. And let's go and find it right there. There we go. So unfortunately, it doesn't go up all the way because it is a... It works kind of weird with... what do you call multi-hit attacks, but it still, increases the damage by quite a bit. So we will use it and get those vulnerable procs up, and we can just, use this just to get it out of my hand, and because we're probably gonna need our hand space for this turn coming up. Alright, so we have the Adagio. We can use it to discard the Eternal Hunger, get 2 more cards, get the other Eternal Hunger, get this upgrade here, just do some extra damage at the end of the turn. We proc the Gear Bag, which will give me 2 new cards right here. This Confiscation will give me another Forbidden card, like this other Forbidden Hunger right there. So let's now actually use this Portrait of Fury, which will get me some damage and some more cards through the Portrait of Fury, and also do proc the Gear Bag. So we do get this other Enhanced Evolver, so we can do that and get some more cards. Right there. Okay, so now I think we actually just flower. There we go. And we can ballad too. This one is the mark ballad. So there we go. Unfortunately, it doesn't give marks to the same target on the number. It gives marks to like different targets based on them. I don't know. Like the whole mark thing is kind of unintuitive in my opinion, but a pretty good set of damage right there. Okay, so we get the upgrade card here. Unfortunately, this hand isn't really that good, so let us actually shuffle these 3 cards out and get new cards. We do get a Hunger and a Adagio, so a really, really good pickup. Really strong combo right there. So this will get me, more Forbidden cards. We get the other Eternal Hunger and the other Adagio, which is pretty nuts. But we were guaranteed to get the Hunger because that's the only other one that Nia has. So now we can go in and use Curiosity. And let's actually get this Portrait right here. And this will actually allow me to get some more cards to shuffle in. Okay, there we go. We get some Dirge Bullets. Let's get some more Dirge Bullets actually. Let's Soul Rip first. We can G-Chord. See what we have here. Okay, a Muscle Enhanced, draw a card, draw it. Okay, Confiscation will get me... Okay, cool. We can Muscle Enhanced again. Okay, another Dirge Bullet here. And since we proc the Soul Rip, this will count for that. So we'll have full decibels coming up. There we go. You know, casual 8.5k. You know, not amazing, but not that bad either. Alright, we proc the algorithm, and we also proc the shuffle because we do so much with the algorithm that the shuffle goes off right there. Okay, so unfortunately, this is drawn in the draw phase, so we don't get the bonus from it. Let's actually do this now. Okay, it reduces this, which is actually pretty good. That was the card that algorithm got, by the way. So we just kind of let it go off right there. We don't really have a crazy turn right now, so let us just go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And actually, like not doing a lot of stuff. 6k, like 6.5 after 6. Okay, like 7, almost 8k. Just from that's a lot of damage right there. Okay, confiscation. We get the other forbidden hunger, sure. Now, unfortunately, one of the weaknesses in the deck now that Renoa has is they don't really have ways to get rid of these Dirge Bullets, so they're going to be clogging on my deck, so I do have to kind of win with this one pretty quickly, but hopefully that's not going to be that big of an issue. In fact, I should have just hard-cast the Dirge Bullets instead of wasting my time using Reyes attacks, but, you know, we are chipping away, doing pretty good damage there. Okay, here, I can actually get rid of probably everything, I hope. Let's Adagio, though, and get rid of this hunger. Okay, pretty good. We get Adagio again to get rid of the other hunger. Okay. Alright, nice there. Let us Curiosity, though, and see what we have. Let us pick that up, and we get, okay, very good. We can Dark Condensation. We can use it on the Muscle Enhanced in my hand. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be the one facing to the right without the Epiphany. So it's this one. There we go. Okay, come on. Boom, boom, boom. And if you don't notice, even though what do you call it? This card, where is the upgrade cards? Where did they go? I don't think I can see them. But the upgrade card, futility, it says when drawn through an ability. That's wrong. It's when you draw a card anywhere outside of the draw phase. So even a card like a attack card that draws a card will also heal me. So like this, see? It only healed me for a little bit, you know, but when you do it like 20 times, you know, in a turn, you know, that's going to add up quite a bit there. So, in fact, we're going to do it one more time. Okay, pretty good there. Let us G-Chord. Okay. Let us use Ray's ability just to get that one more AP. So we can actually use this one. And we can... Okay, we broke actually too. So we have to do a little bit more. We don't have to because he's dead. So let's use a Soul Rip. Then we can use the Mute Accent to discard those. And I think the fight should be over. It is. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's really quickly take a look at the build for Renoa that we used. And here we are. If you notice here, it's not a really heavy Dirge Bullet generating build. That's because we are relying a lot on our neutral card, Muscle Enhanced Evolver, to do a lot of our damage right here. As I told you, it is a multi-hit card with inspiration and even more hits. And with all the draw power that we have, probably the inspiration on this is pretty trivial a lot of the times, and even when we don't have it, we're really lucky to get the Epiphany to draw a card. So even when we don't, you know, have the 2 extra hits, we still get some bonus to draw the card and maybe keep our combos going, do stuff like getting the Forbidden Hungers and getting more AP and all of that. So let's take a look quickly at the deck overall. Now, you notice here that I did get rid of an Annihilation Shot and the Shield, because honestly, you never really want to cast this. This is kind of, you know, this is just like not a good card overall. So we much rather cast our multi-hitters like the Evolver and all of that, and our other stronger cards like creators and things. So what can be like changed about this deck though overall that even make it a little bit better? First of all, this deck goes Starro here. Create a Judge Bullet, and discard 2 from the draw pile. It can be okay, right? A little bit harder to set up, I think. The one thing is though, because the Judge Bullet generation is so low, I would have rather had the one that creates 1 Judge Bullet in hand and 2 in the discard pile. This would allow me to use a Ballad Pitch Black with Exhaust instead of the one with the mark, or the one that increases my Judge Bullet extra attack damage by, I believe is 100% for the other one, which I think are both really, really good. I do think the Exhaust one, though, is the one that is most beneficial, because Judge Bullets can clog up your deck and everything, and if you take too long to kill, it can create like critical mass where you just casting all your Judge Bullets and you can't really, finish off the enemy, even though, just hard casting Judge Bullets does do a lot of damage, and if you do it enough times, you just kind of kill the enemy anyway, so there is that. Instant Judgment here is perfectly fine. I think that the upgrade, just get it out of the deck, out of the hand, to do a tiny bit of extra damage every turn is a perfectly okay investment overall. In terms of the flower, this one here for the Exhaust is perfectly fine. I do think I would have rather had the targeted discard though, like the discard 3, create 3. I think it would be better in this particular case, but this is perfectly fine okay also, like I said. And then we have the Forbidden card, Portrait of Fury. So, when I first saw this one, I thought it was, wow, this is pretty nuts. I do multi-hits of damage, and I draw cards. I always have, like, almost a full hand, so I always do the max amount of damage. I always get more cards. Seems pretty great, right? The problem is that this card costs 1. And we have a Forbidden card that does damage. It doesn't draw cards, but it does more damage, and it costs 0. Well, it costs 9, but eventually it costs 0. Which is just much, much better. So I would say that this is just a worse DPS card than the other one, unfortunately. So if you really, really are chasing a Forbidden card for this setup, you really want the SXP of Violence instead. But this is okay, right? Honestly, this particular setup doesn't really need a Forbidden card to really work. It's just kind of icing on the cake. But, the other one would make that icing really, really sweet. So, and also, in case you're just wondering on the other builds, I won't really talk about them because they're the same as my other ones. But here is the Ray. There we go. And here is the Nia. Alright, very good. Alright, no. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, please leave it a like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Again, thank you for watching. I'm Wild Neptune. It's been a good one. Till next time.